Oh, whoa! What's wrong? Who's there?
Who do you think is here? It's me. Were you expecting someone else?
No, but why did you switch off all the lights? And my music.
I will tell you in a second why I switched off your music. But right now, I wanted to make you aware that we are not at home.
Not at home. Where are we then?
We are in a studio.
Studio. Why?
You forgot? We are live for Science in the City.
Oops, completely forgot that.
I thought so. So how about we start by introducing ourselves first? Because all the children that are watching us right now have no clue who we are.
Okay, you're right.
I'm always right. Anyway, let me start. So, first of all, hello everyone. My name is Zoe. Right beside me here, I have Dragon.
Dragon!
Say hello to the children. They are watching us today.
Hello, hello.
So, let's tell the children who we are.
Seriously? Didn't we already tell them I am the dragon and you are Zoe?
Yes, but we must tell them something about ourselves so they get to know us better. Listen, leave this to me.
Here we go, Miss Know-It-All.
Can you please stop interrupting me?
Okay.
So, as I was going to start telling you before Mr. Dragon decided to interrupt me, the dragon and myself live at the Ain National Water Conservation Awareness Center in Rabat. We help the educators of the center with their lessons. At the center, we raise awareness about water conservation and sustainability. And students, together with their teachers, come over to the center and can follow one of our 4 different educational programs. These are the water cycle for our younger students, the Fairly Hydrated Night, the Water Hero, and the Utility Operator, which is for our elder students. When we have classes at the center, the Dragon and me help out the educators with their educational programs. I usually help the educators. The Dragon usually messes about rather than helps.
Hey,
What?
I heard that.
You heard what?
You were telling the children that I do not help at this center.
Come on, be honest now. Do you really help?
No.
There you go. Anyway, the best way to explain what we do at the center is to watch the following video. Hope you have enjoyed that little video clip, and once this COVID situation is resolved, we hope to be able to see you all at the center.
Oi!
Dragon, stop being rude. Can you please stop interrupting me?
You were finished anyway.
Yes, but you must wait politely and not interrupt. Anyway, what did you want?
Before you start talking about the center, you were going to tell me why we are here.
Okay. Yes, we were invited here to Science in the City to talk to the children about energy conservation.
Energy conservation, what is that?
Obviously, you have no clue what energy conservation is, seeing the way I found you when I came in with all the lights blaring and sound.
Don't tell me you're going to start whining about electricity now. It's not already enough that I hear you talk about water every day and conserving and all that sort of thing.
That is exactly what you are going to hear. Now that you have learned a lot about water conservation, it is time to start learning about energy conservation. For example, why did you have all those lights on when I came in?
Because it was dark.
Okay, but did you really need all those lights on?
Yes, why not?
No. First of all, it's sunny outside, and if you open the curtains, you can get light in here, and you do not need to switch on the lights, and you waste energy.
So,
this is the same as I tell you about water. The more electricity we use, the more the power station must work, and the more gas it needs to consume. Gas also makes pollution, and that is harmful for our environment.
Wait. You lost me there. I thought you always say we get our electricity from the PV panels.
Yes, you are right there. At the EWA Center, we do get our electricity from the PV panels. But here, we are not at the EWA Center, remember? We are in a studio here.
So what were you saying about power stations and pollution? What does all that mean?
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Electricity is a type of energy that we use to power lots of things around our homes. It is used to power lights, mobile phones, TVs, radios, and even computers. Electricity can be generated using coal, gas, the wind, or sunlight. Electricity is normally generated in big buildings called power stations. In Malta, our power station is generated using gas. Gas is turned into electricity by burning it to make steam to turn a turbine. Unfortunately, this makes carbon dioxide that causes pollution.
Okay, so what happens when you have PV panels, like we have at the center?
So, when you have photovoltaic panels on your house or buildings, it means that you are using solar energy, which is energy that comes from the sun. The solar power generates electricity by absorbing the heat and light from the sun in these special panels.
So that means when it's cloudy, we don't get any electricity.
PV panels don't just work when the sun is out, they can also generate electricity when it is cloudy, but they don't make so much electricity as they do in bright sunlight.
Okay.
What are you thinking? And by the way, why are you wearing a scarf? It is not even winter, and outside it is still warm.
Because I'm cold.
Of course you're cold with this AC on. What do you expect?
But I like it cold.
You just said you are cold and have a scarf around your neck, and now you are saying you like the cold?
Because I don't like when it's warm outside.
But you can open the window. There's a nice breeze outside, and right now it is not summer, and the temperature is not that hot.
True, but what difference does it make if you have the AC on or off?
How many times do I have to explain to you that the more electricity you consume, the more pollution we generate, and the more we end up harming our planet?
Oh, fun, this as well.
Of course, the more we use electricity, the more fossil fuels we need to generate electricity. The more we burn fossil fuels, the more we contribute to pollution and harming the environment.
Well, so what do we do?
What we need to do is open the windows so we can have a nice fresh air coming from outside, and open up the curtains so that we could also have light in the room. Like that in the morning, you do not need to switch on any lights or use the AC.
But at night it gets dark, so what do? We light a candle? Not to waste electricity?
We do not need to go to such extremes of lighting candles. If you need light, so you can only switch on the lights that you need. And like that, you can have energy efficient lights.
Energy what?
Energy efficient.
Okay, whatever energy, whatever. And what does this mean?
Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task. That is, eliminating energy waste.
And how can lighting in building be energy efficient?
One can replace the conventional bulbs with what we call LED lights.
And what are these LED lights?
LED lights have many advantages: lower energy consumption, longer lifetime, smaller size, faster switching, and most important is that they use at least 75% less energy.
This sounds interesting.
Of course it is. Which reminds me, I was going to ask if you want to come over with me shopping today. What's wrong? Can you tell me what is going on? All so quiet all of a sudden? Usually jump at the opportunity to come shopping. You love spending money.
I can't.
You can't. How come?
I don't have any money.
What, you have already spent all your money? It's only a week since you got your pocket money, and that was supposed to last you a whole month.
Because I got a very high electricity bill, and now I have no more money left.
See what I tell you? That you are wasting too much electricity? This means that if you save electricity, not only you are saving the planet, but you are also saving money.
I must say that you're right.
Of course I'm right. Do you want to know how you can save more energy?
Yes, I guess, because I hate harming the environment. Plus, I can't pay another bill like the one I had.
So, let's start with some more tips. Are your electrical appliances old at home?
I think so.
There you go. You can start by changing your electrical appliances to newer ones that are more energy efficient.
And how do I know that the appliances are energy efficient?
Yes, that's a very good question. So, the energy efficiency of the appliance is rated in terms of a set of energy efficient classes from A to G on a label. A being the most energy efficient, G the least efficient. The labels can also give you other useful information about that specific model.
Okay, is that all?
There are other things that you can do, which are very simple. For example, you have a very bad habit which I have told you 1,000,000 times.
1,000,000 times. It's true, you never stop talking. You always seem to have something to say about it. But I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
How many times do I tell you to close the fridge when you take out the water to drink from the fridge?
But you know I need to drink a lot of water, because I'm a dragon.
I'm not telling you not to drink, but when you take out the water from the fridge, close it immediately, drink, and then put it back in the fridge. Not leave the fridge door open until you drink a whole bottle of water. When you do that, you are wasting energy.
So, you're saying that if I change my appliances and my bulbs to energy efficiency ones and close the door immediately when I take water out of the fridge, not use the AC if it's not hot outside, open the curtains when it's sunny outside, I can save energy and save money?
Yes, that would be a good start. You will have more money in your pocket and you will be saving our planet. Actually, if you want to learn more about energy efficiency, there is a good website where you can get all the tips you want. The website is called energyefficiencymalta.com. This can also be very useful for children that are watching us. And if it is too complicated for you, Mr. Dragon, you can also call one of the house visits team to come over and audit your home. This can be very useful for all home owners that are watching us right now. Okay, that's all for today. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the puppet show. Joining us on Zoom, we have Lorna Taliana. Engineer Lorna Taliana Mintoff is an electrical engineer that works within the Energy and Water Agency to promote energy efficiency. In her work, she analyzes the energy used, looks at possible ways to reduce it, and provides support to partners to carry on energy efficient projects.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, Lorna. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Great. We're very happy to have you with us, and we have some questions for you. Would it be possible to repeat the benefits of solar water heater and heat pump water heaters?
Yes, in fact, I think something that we didn't go into much detail is our efforts to explain to people how important it is to switch. The idea of energy efficiency is not that you renounce to certain comforts, but that you keep the same comfort, but doing it in a more efficient way. Solar water heaters and heat pumps are the most efficient way you can use to heat up your water. We're going into winter now. In Malta, it's starting to feel really cold right now in these weeks, and everyone likes to have a warm bath. Ideally a shower, please, because that saves water. And the most common way we find in households is that we use an electric water heater, which is, if done at the right size, it does consume less energy and less water. The idea is to use more natural sources, which are the sun, in the case of solar water heater. In the case of heat pumps, we're actually speaking of the air you have in a room. So basically the idea is, for a solar water heater, we use the heat coming from the sun to heat up our water to the level, you don't need a lot of energy from the sun to heat it to about 60 degrees, which is more than enough for what you need for a warm shower. The same thing can be done through what we call a heat pump, which is like an electric water heater. Usually it would be a bit larger in size because it takes longer to heat up, and it can be installed inside. You don't need to have a roof or access to an outside area. And the heat pump will use the air in the room to actually heat up your water to a perfect temperature you need to meet all your needs, whether it's in the kitchen or in the bath. It uses what we call ambient energy, because we know that ambient energy is usually at the right temperature when it comes to heating these kind of things.
Great. We have another question. Could you also explain the schemes currently tied with these two technologies at the moment?
Yes, the public can access the schemes on the Regulator for Energy and Water Services, what we call REWS in short. There are two schemes for both solar water heaters and heat pumps, whereby if the public goes to buy this equipment, they are then refunded an amount on the amount they spent. I believe the maximum would be around 700 euros to cover the cost, the additional cost you would pay for such an equipment. What I would like to point out is that many people see the initial expense as a bit high. It's true, you will spend more money to buy a solar water heater and a heat pump versus buying an electric water heater. However, keep in mind that every month you will be saving quite an amount of money in your electricity bill. So the money you invest at the beginning, you will actually recover it throughout the months you're using it. So to add more, the government even gives you this grant to lay off a bit of the initial expense you have to go through.
And eventually it cancels itself out, right?
Yes, exactly.
So if I'm interested in doing that, where would I need to apply for a house visit?
If you're interested, now a house visit is a service we offer for free. It's done through the agency, whereby many people that are seeing high consumption of electricity or water, usually the first sign people would see is that your electricity bill is coming too expensive. They can easily call 2229-2575, or else contact us via email on info@energywateragency.gov.mt. And we have a team of people that are trained and that have been doing this for a number of years now, and they will look at your electricity bill, thus explaining to you how from that you can understand better your electricity and water consumption and how you can do this. Now, we know that right now, during these times, we are under restrictions because of COVID. So yes, it's a fact that the visits are not actually happening at the moment. However, there is the option to go on a waiting list. So as soon as they are taken up again, we will come to you. Also, our great team at the stakeholder unit are doing whatever they can via phone or via meetings online. Because sometimes just by analyzing your electricity bill, it's enough to understand where certain problems lie. So whatever can be done in these times through a phone call or through an online meeting is done from our side.
Okay, and everyone is eligible, right, for this house visit?
Yes, definitely everyone is eligible, anyone, whatever your consumption. And we also invite everyone to send any queries they might have on this on our email. Again, it's info@energywateragency.gov.nt. Even if it's not specifically related to your house, but any questions you have related to expenses you're incurring because of energy or how to make something more energy efficient, we'll be more than willing to help.
In fact, we do have some queries in the sense of audience questions. And here's the first one. Are we using enough solar energy in Malta?
We are using solar energy in Malta. As you know, we have quite a number of PV panels installed in households and also a number of commercial PV farms, communes also. And there is more potential, yes, and that's why over the years the government has always tried to keep the help he gives, this investment ongoing. There is more potential we can tap into, and hopefully in the coming for the 2030 targets we have set out, we will have more use of the solar energy that hits our country. We know we're lucky with the sun over here, so definitely there is more potential we can tap into.
Okay, is heating with gas better than heating with electricity?
And you have to see it, this is a very common debate, because as a household you would look more at your electricity bill, but gas produces also certain greenhouse gases. So our idea is that it's better to go to, you produce more greenhouse gas emissions by using an LPG at home than it takes actually to use electricity. The power station is designed to produce less greenhouse gas emissions in order to produce the energy you need to heat up. So that's the debate, that when you're using, the more gas you're using at home, of course, yes, you're saving on electricity, but you're producing more greenhouse gas emissions.
Okay. Does double glazing, that is using glasses with 2 layers in windows, for example, help save energy?
Definitely. In fact, there are also schemes to cover that, both double glazing and insulation of roofs and of buildings. Because if you have a good insulation, you have 2 advantages. In winter, if you're using an AC system, what we call technically it's actually a heat pump, but commonly known as an AC unit, if your windows are properly sealed and there's double glazing, then the heat you're generating inside is not getting lost outside of your building. The same thing applies in summer. If you're cooling your building, then that ambient temperature that you're setting perfectly inside your home is not being lost because you have pure apertures insulating your home. So it is definitely a help.
So for those who don't have double glazed windows right now, is there anything that they could do to mitigate this?
Definitely. When the procedure is that you would ask for quotes from manufacturers of apertures and ask for double glazing. Then you can apply for the scheme using the quote you have, and you get a rebate, a refund also on the expense that you spend. It is to mention that really and truly the difference between going from a single pane to a double glazed window is not that high. It does become quite significant when you have a large number of apertures, but the scheme then will help you mitigate that cost.
Okay.
Not to mention the benefit of sound too, if I may, that when you have double glazing, you mitigate sound intrusion into your home.
We have a question from Julia, age 7, and she's asking, is there...
Hi, Julia.
If there is somewhere that does not get a lot of sunlight, can we turn the light on?
Of course you may. As I said, energy efficiency is not about sacrificing comfort, but you can, if you have a light fitting, ideally, for example, if you're reading in bed, Julia, have a small lampshade near you. Or buy one of those very cool reading lights that you stick onto your book. If you're doing your homework, you need very good lighting. But again, there are very common lampshades that have LEDs, and practically for any light fitting, we have LED bulbs now. The technology has evolved so much that any light fitting, whether it's old or new, you can fit an LED bulb to it.
Okay, we have another question. If there is an oil spill near Malta, does that affect the water supply?
Oh, definitely. There is constant monitoring of our water. There's a project ongoing, which is the River Basement Management System, to monitor what happens to the water as they flow through our valleys. And an oil spill around Malta would definitely affect. That's why whenever there's such an environmental disaster, it's all hands on decks to contain that oil spill and try to clean it up as quickly as possible.
Very good. Another question: does using carpets, drapes, and home decor such as curtains, does that help save energy?
Definitely. I think many people underestimate the effect of shading. So if you want to keep the heat outside, ideally provide shading outside your window, like a small tent. If you want then to avoid from too much light coming in, too much heat coming in, thick curtains help. We're in winter. Carpets will help keep your room more warm. Thicker curtains will help keep the cold outside, or you're actually keeping the heat inside. So yes, let's make use of these things to help us, because then you will need less energy to give a comfortable temperature inside your home. Why you switch on the AC when you can cover yourself up with a small blanket while you're watching TV?
That's
true. The idea.
Are fireplaces better than electric or gas heaters?
Again, when we're talking of a fireplace, it depends. Many new fireplaces use pellets, which are biomass. They are derived from renewable source of energy, so those are very helpful. But we are aware that we're going into a time where houses are getting smaller, more apartments, so it might be more difficult to have a fireplace. Because you have a wood-burning fireplace, for example, you would need a flue that is outside and that extends about 3 meters above the highest building around you. So there's those limitations. Electric heaters, it's more efficient to use an AC system nowadays because it uses the concept of a heat pump. So I would rather prefer that people would go for that than actually an electric water heater. Oh, an electric heater to heat the room, sorry.
Okay, that's been very, very, very interesting. Let's see if we have any other questions.